Shalom Alochun, my name is Lolita Emmanuel and I was born on Cabrogal land, which is in Sydney, Australia. Both of my parents were Assyrian activists. My mother was an Assyrian activist that fought for Assyrian recognition with her father in Armenia. And my dad, he is a filmmaker, a director, an actor, and a radio producer who was also an activist in Iraq. But when he was 20, he had to flee the country, essentially to escape death because of his identity and because of his activism. There's a lot of great things happening in Sydney, actually. We have an Assyrian school that's run by the church, and that's completely volunteer-based, where we've got people coming in, devoting their time to teaching children and adults the language. And that's a huge responsibility since our language is endangered. We've also got great organisations like the Australian chapter of the Assyrian Arts Society, which is devoted to supporting Assyrians in the homeland and doing that in kind of artistic events, like cultural events like concerts. I think as a performer, I'm really drawn to performing pieces and playing music that tells powerful stories. In piano at the moment, that has been a lot of Assyrian music. It's been a lot of Armenian music. And the reason why I think that's actually so powerful is because it's another way that we can recirculate our folk songs. It's another way that we can keep our culture alive, especially when, as Assyrians, our artifacts have been destroyed. We've been kicked out of our homeland. The Assyrians living in our homeland are discriminated against and, over history have been prevented from practicing their culture and speaking their language. And so to be able to play our music in a space that, is not typically associated with Assyrian music, for example. Classical music is often associated with European music. But to be able to play that in a different space, to me, is resilience. It's adapting. And that's why I love that. So the piece that I'm going to be performing today is titled Impromptu which is written by Arno Babadjanian. And the title of the piece actually reflects the genre. So the piece is Impromptu, which is a short character piece that is quite spontaneous in style. And so it kind of feels improvised. And in this case, it's improvising a motif that is actually really kind of familiar to me. And that's why I'm drawn to the piece. I'd like to say a big thank you to the Assyrian Arts Institute for giving me this opportunity to share with you a little bit about myself and a little bit about what I do as a musician. I hope you enjoy the performance.